and how. Oh, that wasn't recorded. Darn.
No, I know.
Not for me, but it says pretty. No, just, I think the difference between worthiness is if someone asked me if I were worthy, I would say, of course, I think I'm worthy. But really, we look at the world through the lens, just like Eric taught us yesterday, of all of that pre-programming. And when you really go through the workbook and you ask the questions, you're like, shoot, I'm the last person in the world that I would think.
Right.
Didn't think I was worthy.
Right.
Of something, right? So I think it's just a great book for the deep questions of self-reflection. And then, of course, her story, she is hilarious, she's funny, she's a Christian, like the whole book is just like, this is my book. This is the book.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I really like what she says in the book about rejection.
Oh, this is so great.
Is that God is protecting you from that. And like the rejection that you receive is God protecting you.
Amen, sister.
Yes, and it's not that something is wrong with you, it's that God was hiding your value from that person.
And can I just jump in for a minute? Because we have people of all faiths on this. And I love that we are a group that can talk about whatever our faith is, whether you are Buddhist, Christian, Jewish, whatever your higher power is.
We love Jesus.
Yeah, whatever that higher power is in your belief, it's so cool that we can all share with that. So let's jump to something else. We had Jean come in and train on Zoom yesterday morning for us. What were some of your takeaways from with Jean?
We
Yes.
all have that little.
Come here, come on.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'll share, okay, I'll come back, I'll come back.
And Jackie just abandoned her.
I know, you see that, come on, Mike, come up here, that, you know, Gene took a test and he was not leadership material and all these tests, but it's that little bit that you have inside of you.
Right.
Everybody has that little bit, and you just gotta find that deep inside.
So let's go a little bit deeper on that. So how many of you on this call think Jean Frederick is not a leader? Did I kind of flip that around?
Yeah.
So when we were all a lot of us were leaders at KW, and in order to be put in the specific role, whether it was a team leader or an operating partner, principal, or you were a market center administrator, KW was really great on taking assessments, and other companies are too, but I'm going to speak to this. And Gene shared with us yesterday that he did not pass those tests to plug him in to have the role that he was supposed to have. Now, think about this. If he did not believe in himself, if he did not say, wait a minute, that's not true, I've got this much more, where the heck would we all be? In all honesty.
Well, if you would have listened to somebody else.
That's what I'm saying.
If you would have listened to somebody else, it would, we wouldn't, like you said, we wouldn't be here. And so many times people tell you, and that's one of the things we talked about yesterday. Somebody will say something to you over the course of your life and it sticks with you. But you have to rise above that because you gotta find your own, who you are, what you do, because it's not true. That's right.
Hey, Peggy.
Yep. Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Good
So,
California.
I'm hearing all this and I think it's great. I grew up in a Catholic school and, you're not supposed to do this and you're not supposed to do that and you're not supposed to ask for things, you get that ingrained in your brain. And I'm sure other people went to certain schools that formed them, right? And when you become, an adult and you're surrounded by positive people and they say, no, you can do whatever you want. It takes time to get rid of that old stuff, the baggage that you've accumulated. And I don't know how many of you remember the days when we used to defrag a hard drive. I know Ashley would remember. And you would just clean up all the gunk in there and organize everything and leave free space where you can add value and add positive things. So we have to take it upon ourselves to feel we're worthy and ask God for his blessings and direction. And there's a great little book, this thin, called The Prayer of Jabez. And whether you're whatever religion you are, if you believe in a God, it says how God has all these blessings indoors waiting for you to ask for them. And it's a beautiful book. I highly recommend you take 5 minutes to read it. But it's resets your mind to what you can do. I never thought I would be an owner of a Keller Williams franchise, but it happened. And Gene was one of the people who inspired me to do it and supported me to do it. I'm just mad he didn't tell me he went to EXP so many years ago. And I give him shit about that. But the bottom line is you need to surround yourself with those positive people, because the assessments that KW used to give us made them turn down an amazing human that would have been a great team leader from my office. But you know what? It didn't happen. And I ended up selling the office, and it was right before I got cancer and the economy went to the toilet. So that was God's blessings for not letting me hire that person, even though I was so mad at KW. So, you hear God works in mysterious ways, and that's exactly what happens. You have to have faith, not just in God, but also in yourself.
Mhm.
And whenever you have a no, just move on.
What, I love that. I absolutely love it. Eric, do you want to jump in? Because Eric is one of our coaches and I want to share him with you guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think we talked a little bit about beliefs yesterday, and whatever beliefs you have come from somewhere else, whether it's Catholic school, whether it's media, your friends. You weren't born with any beliefs. All beliefs came from somewhere else. So it's a good time to look at your beliefs and say, hey, are these serving me? If a belief is serving you, hang on to it. If not, then it's up to you. You can switch it. If you were raised with believing that money is really hard to get and that rich people are evil and all these things, you can change that belief. You don't have to hang on to that for the rest of your life just because that was ingrained in you. And as far as, people will always discount you. When I first started my first restaurant, I own 7 restaurants now. And when I first was gonna open one, people would say, you're crazy, that's the worst business idea, you're gonna lose a lot of money. And you'll always have those people, no matter what it is. I'm sure you've dealt with them. And it's up to you. You could go one of 2 ways. You can let that come in and you can go, wow, they're right. Or you can take it as a challenge.
Yeah.
People like me, people like Gene, we take that as a challenge. It's like, oh, you don't think I can? I'll show you I can. Like, I'm gonna do even better now. I use that as fuel. And you can use that as fuel also. And really go through. And it going back, it comes back to self-worth also, because it all starts with self-worth. And if you really think about
I agree with what you're saying, except that we weren't born with a belief, because if you watch little children, they believe they can do everything and anything. And we squish them into, oh no, you can't do that. Oh no, don't go outside. Oh no, don't play with that dog. Oh no, don't touch this, is hot. Don't, when you watch, I have clients who have little kids, and I watch their development and how the parents are encouraging them to be curious and explore and do all these things. So in a way, I think we are born with amazing powers, and we just get molded into humans that are limited. And now it's time to unshackle ourselves and go for it and feel what.
Yeah, a lot of this journey is about unlearning things more than it's about learning new things. It's about stripping things away more than it's about adding new things a lot of the time. And yeah, I think the problem is with kids, we do encourage them. Like, I have a 7-month-old daughter that's here. We encourage her to explore. We encourage her to go feel things and touch things and have all these. And then as soon as she turns 4 or 5, we take all that away and we go, don't talk to strangers. and don't do this, and don't touch that, and don't, you know. So it's getting mixed messages and it's what goes through and everything like that, but self-worth is really what it comes down to. I mean, and that's so important. If you look at your life, if you look at money. If I asked you, you know, hey, there's this amazing seminar, it's gonna cost $2,000. You might go, wow, I can't really afford that. But if your car broke down right now and it needed $2,000 worth of work, you would find that money and you would fix your car. So you'd spend more money working on your car than working on yourself. That is most people in this world. You gotta shift those priorities. You gotta look at and go, even at times when I was really broke, I would always do personal growth and development stuff because that is, investing in yourself is the best investment you'll ever make in your life. If anyone ever recommends a book to me, I'd buy it. Jackie was talking about this Worthy book. I literally jumped on Amazon during the conversation and got it. That's the mindset to be in. Because if I can even pull one little nugget out of that book that helps me, right? How do you put a price tag on that? If you learn one thing that shifts your life forever, how do you quantify that with money? You can't. So always invest in yourself, and that will build your self-worth also.
So why don't we do that? Why do we put a car or something else in front of us because of that self-worth thing?
Self-worth.
So where does that come from? Are parents saying don't spend money, schools? I mean, we have to examine that.
Everybody's always like.
Come on over, Mike. Mike is the one guy, come on, Mike, in the seminar.
1, 2.
Well, Jack is here, but you're the one who signed up and paid.
Anybody, me and my wife say, oh, we've done personal development, you always get that look like. But like, we all need personal development, no matter what level you're on, and like, to spend money, it's like, oh yeah, oh, your transmission is blown up, well, you better get that fixed. Oh, you're gonna go on a seminar for $2,000 and try to fix yourself, oh, you're going to counseling? Like, you guys have struggles in life and you're going to, oh, you guys have gone long enough, you should be done, like. Are you ever really done growing? If you're not growing, then you're dying, if something isn't growing, it's decaying. Same thing with personal development, if you're not growing your personality and your beliefs. What are you're getting fed all the time. Everybody around you is telling you like, oh, that book's stupid. Well, then I better not read it, because they said so, you know, we're always listening to other people, it's society. And I hate to get conspiratorial and all that, you look at the rich people, like a lot of rich people don't want other people to get rich, same kind of thing, oh, well, if somebody's got that.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yes, that is.
I'm rich.
Yeah. And geez.
Limiting beliefs will come out.
No, that's a good point that you just said that, because Gene wants to have as many millionaires and people.
Yeah.
As much as he possibly
And
can.
if I was a millionaire, I'd want them to do that, so why would I wanna look, and now I'm looking down at other millionaires, wait, not one that I wanted.
But that's good to think about that. So what are you telling your unconscious mind about making
Yeah.
money,
Yeah,
right?
then I'd be bad.
Your unconscious, the making money is bad. And then when deals happen, when things go on, you're naturally, your tendency, don't touch the stove, it's hot.
Mhm.
You go, here's the deal, that's gonna make you a lot of money,
Yeah,
right?
I wanna be rich.
Lily, come on up. So this is the husband and wife couple that came. Come on. These two are so adorable together, and I love the fact that they're here as a couple and they're working individually on themselves, but they're also working collectively, because you guys know, you have a dream, you want to touch it. And talk a little bit about what you're getting out of this as a couple. What do you want from this?
You're gonna talk.
Go ahead.
Well, no, breaking, like the mindset that Eric just pointed out to me, like, you know, like, those are good, like, we keep having them, and we may realize that, like, I heard that before, but yet I went right back to that belief. You gotta keep doing the personal development stuff, otherwise. You may slip back into some of those beliefs, little by little, if you're not, like I said, if you're not growing, you're working out of them. You might backslide into them, and then, you know, writing down our goals and writing down this stuff, you know, we talk about this already, but you know, it's good reassurance, like, oh. I need to help her where she's struggling, and oh, she sees me over here, then she can build me up, I can build her up. You know, in our not feeling worthy, because we struggle with worthiness things.
Do you?
We feel,
So,
oh, yeah.
You look so confident. You
I
walk
think
in here.
I think that like, okay, so we've been like on this personal development journey for probably at least what, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, how long have you been here?
6 or 7, yeah, and I know that both Mike and I grew up in like lower middle class, and we have both already exceeded what our parents did and how we grew up, and so like we all hear about these glass ceilings, right? And you think you're, you know, getting through them, but we're not, like, it's almost like we're comfortable because we've already done better than our parents, we've already given our kids a better life than our parents gave us, and there's so much more than just money, right? Like, and so I think it's really important to like remember, like, okay, I don't have this like down, and I never will, and that's okay, because I'm a perfectionist, and so I want to be perfect, and I know that's not possible, because only Jesus is perfect, but I still strive for it, and then I still beat myself up when I miss the mark, which I'm always gonna miss the mark, so it's constantly this problem that I create in myself, and it's ridiculous, and I know it. So it's important to surround myself with other people that are elevating and recognizing, not just covering up their shame and the things that they struggle with.
And being a couple, then it allows me, knowing that she deals with that, to help build her up and her help pull me out, like going along this together. You know, you don't have one of us beating the other one down. I mean, in a relationship, you may screw up there, but then you realize it catches up. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, you are, you know, and try to pour into her in a good way.
That's beautiful that you guys do this. I know that there are people on this call right now who don't have that support. Eric, I'm gonna ask you, what can you say to people who are out there right now? Thank you guys so much. What do you say to people that are out there going, okay, my wife doesn't support me, or I'm in real estate and my family doesn't think it's a real job? Because those are limiting beliefs from that family.
Sure.
And it gets those people down, and it's struggling for them to get up every day. How do we help them?
Well, don't ever think you don't have support. You always have support. You have support right now. That's what this group's about. We're here to support each other. So if your wife, if your husband, if your family doesn't understand it, that's completely okay. The same way that they might be into some things that you're not into, you know, I have family members that love, you know, whatever, golfing. If I didn't love golfing, it's okay, I'll let them golf, and I hope they have fun and I can support them while they're golfing, it doesn't mean I have to be into it, right? So you always have support, you gotta find like-minded people, you gotta surround yourself, I mean, that's what's so powerful about doing this work with a partner if you do have one, because when Lily or when Mike bring up a limiting belief, they can call each other out on it. That's what you need, it's just about bringing awareness to things. So if you can surround yourself with people that can call you out when you do say things like you're not worthy in other ways, and when they can point that out to you, that's huge, because then you start recognizing it yourself.
I had to take a really close look at my closest friends, my circle, because I found that some of my really good friends that I've had forever, they haven't done this work, and they think their role is to say to me all the time, oh, you're this, oh, you're that. They will call me out on my bullshit. And I need to have the people in my life that are gonna call me out. And so I've also had to, who said defrag? Sarah did. Sarah, you had, oh, yeah, Samir did. Samia did.
Oh, yeah.
I had to defrag my friends. I had to let friends go. And even halfway through this year, so looking at who are the people that you surround yourself, I don't want my friends blowing smoke up my ass every single day. I mean, I really don't. You know, once in a while, a compliment is good.
Yeah.
But no, go ahead, Stace.
You know, this last weekend was, you know, one of those weekends that could have been really rough for me, because I do still have family baggage, and it's those choices of people that you want to have in your life and when to have them in your life sometimes. I have a child that is so disrespectful that I can't have her around me until she can actually be here with respect. And she knows she knows that that doormat is not me. You know, she has to come in and decide that she has to give me respect if she's going to come into my home. Same thing with my brother and sister. I spent a whole weekend with my brother and sister, which was really a rough time because I'm the young baby of the family. They still see me 10 years old. They don't see me as an adult with upper education where I have a master's. And they stomp me. And I allowed that for many, many, many years. And it's through the counseling, as we were talking, what we put into ourselves through counseling, through the 4 years with EXP, I think I've come further along in being able to set aside that baggage in 4 years with EXP than I have through the last 30 years. So it is what we pour into ourselves, and it is who is in front of us, who is a part of our circle. And it's okay to put even our family outside that circle if we have to. But I was able to go to a family reunion with 30 people there, that even with that baggage, I knew how to handle that baggage. And
Wow.
that was a big thing. So anyway.
Stacey, thank you for sharing that, because that's vulnerable and people need to hear that. And it's okay, even if it's your family, it's hard, but you gotta do it.
Yeah, learning to love them from over here, like you
Yeah.
don't have to love them,
Love you from a distance.
right? Yeah.
Love and boundaries.
And
Yeah.
I think it's like, especially when it's family or children or parents, like, we think we're supposed to like have this bond with them, right? And constantly restore the relationship. Sometimes that's not possible. And it's nice for us to remember that we're not the only ones. Everybody struggles with those relationships.
Yeah, I mean, it is always talked about that the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most, you're gonna be like. If you hang out with 5 millionaires,
Yeah.
you're gonna be the 6th millionaire.
Yeah, what about?
You hang out with 5 alcoholics, you're gonna be 6th millionaire. That's why we're here. But no, but people think that for some reason, that 5 doesn't include family. And when I'm coaching people all the time, I gotta tell you, look, your sister is toxic. You if you hang out with her all the time like you are, it's not any different than hanging out with some stranger who's toxic.
Right.
Right? Energy is just energy. And it's a little bit more complicated with family. It's funny, they say, the quote is, it's like, your partner is a reflection of your unconscious mind. Wow. And your career, but your family is there to mess with you. That's what your family does on this planet. They just mess with you, right? So it's hard, but you have to have boundaries. You have to have strict boundaries. And if they're not supporting you, you can love them at Thanksgiving once a year, and at Christmas, and on a phone call here and there, and limit it. Because otherwise, you're just bringing that in, and you might as well just be hanging out with them all the time and hanging out with a bunch of other toxic people.
Exactly. So I started noticing too, like my mom is a really unhealthy individual, and she brings me to an unhealthy level. And even when I started putting her at a distance in our relationship, other people would show up that were just like her. And I wouldn't notice it, but he would. Like, I'd be in the middle of this, different relationships, right? And he'd be like, that's just your mom. You're just filling that spot again. And I would, oh, no, I'm not doing that.
That's a big realization though. It's a big realization. I mean, how many people on this call know somebody who has dated a jerk, broke up with him, and dated the exact same guy with a different hair color and different name? And then ended that relationship. I mean, abusive relationship after another, after another, after another. And that's why doing the inner work that we're out here doing together is so crucial. It's so crucial.
Who wants to say something over there?
I have one thing, just going back to your original question about just family and real estate. When agents get into real estate and we first start training, one of my things, and I try to always add humor to things, but I'm like, welcome to this side of the world. But what's really interesting is what I understood right from the get-go is my family will never understand what I do. I explained to my mom what a capping agent was the other day, and I said they make about $80,000. She goes, you can make that much in real estate?
Oh, bless.
Okay, so what I'm saying is I had to separate myself from that world. And when you really look at it, all of us are spending, you know, when we get into the business, under $3,000 to get into the real estate business. There is no other industry that you can get into, and you're a business owner, you know, that you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars with no inventory. And so we really are in a different world.
Mhm.
And I feel like unless we surround ourselves with people that speak our language, we are always gonna feel like they're beating us up. But you guys, they're just not in our world.
Mhm.
They're just not in our world because they don't understand it. And so when you get licensed, just exposed to a new agent, like, you're part of a different world and you're gonna be living a different life and a different mindset now. And if you can't get that, you'll probably be the 88% that's out.
Mhm.
Because you have to jump into, this is different. And so just wanted to bring that up, that
It's a great point. It's a great
it's just
point.
completely abstract for anybody to understand. And I've been in the business 20 years.
Mhm.
And she just is like, oh, you can make $80,000 in real estate? Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know, so it's just interesting, cause I tell people, like, my mom has no clue what I do, and it's okay.
Well, that's one of the things even in real
I don't need
estate
to understand.
that people always say when you start real estate, well, it's not a real job. Not
Oh,
a
yeah.
real job.
Oh, there's part-time.
Because, yeah,
Yeah.
they don't think you work a real job,
Right.
because.
Good.
and-
I
and-
don't wanna work real.
I Because you can come and go and, you know, but in church, you work a lot harder on yourself and everything else.
But this is something so special that we're just blessed to be in this industry. We found a little peephole into a different world and we're here, and I just think it's fabulous.
You know, the thing too that I just wanna touch on is the fact that in our industry, and it happens to show up in the company that we're in. I spent 16 years in another company.
Mhm.
I loved it. I mean, it was all great. But where can you come together where do you see people in other industries? I don't see my hairdresser bringing her peers on and people that she's worked for years. I don't see them
To work on
going
their
a
self-development.
retreat.
Great.
I don't know that if, you know, my plumber puts, hey, I'm away this week because I'm going to do
A
a master.
plumber,
I mean-
mastermind convention.
It's not a company, this is not a company event. This is not an EXP event or a real estate convention. This is where we come together as a group, as a community, as our culture to say, hey, we just want to share collectively
And build each other up.
and be vulnerable.
Mhm.
You know, this isn't a CE credit where it's mandatory or any of that
Well,
other
and it's
stuff.
relationship, like even like Stephanie and Eric, like they're teaching, but they're still making meals and it's just like a close family.
Doing dishes,
Mhm.
you know, cleaning up, you know, taking pictures of snakes in the lake to scare the hell out of us, so we'll never go in it again. But that's what I love. So if your family is a little bit afraid and not, you know, I don't mean afraid, but on the fringe or whatever, then why don't you do something? Why don't you do a retreat? Go away with them. Find a family home that you'll be.
Oh, no.
No way would happen. Find a different family. With your girlfriend. But get out there and do what we're doing, and if you want some topics, we'll help you. Because you have to be constantly growing. You've gotta get away from them, don't touch this, or don't do that, or that's bad for you, or, you know.
Crabs in a
money-
bucket,
What?
crabs in a bucket.
Crabs in a bucket, tell her about crabs in a bucket are.
You tell it, Ellen.
There's dead crabs is what the term is, and you gotta watch out with the dead crab, because when you're crab fishing, if you put a dead crab in with the other crabs. It permeates out and it'll kill all the other crabs,
Oh,
so,
that's a banana.
That's different, so.
oh,
Yes.
The crabs in a bucket that I was referring to was if you have a bunch of crabs in a bucket and one of them is trying to get it out, the other crabs will pull it down.
oh, yeah.
You can't get out, and so they're pulling that crab down, so don't be a crab in a bucket.
Don't be a crab in a bucket.
Don't get in the bucket.
Or you could die, like Eric said.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing, but that's, if you've got a toxic,
It's a
you
spirit.
got a cancer in there, you gotta get it out.
Yeah.
On your teams, I mean, that's,
That's-
they will
yeah,
take down
that's
everything.
true, yeah.
You gotta kill the baby dragon while it's still a baby, because if you let it grow, start eating the whole village and burning all the buildings down. So that's another thing, but it's so, you all have a very big gift that I think a lot of people don't understand. Why it's so easy for me to be in the real estate world is because I come from the restaurant world and they're very similar. And the fact that I can talk to anybody. I can have a conversation with a 90-year-old elderly couple at the pier. I can talk to some 15-year-old kids that are skateboarding. I can talk to anybody, and you guys have that same skill. And I think sometimes we don't realize that not everybody has that. If you're in this industry, you can relate to people, you can talk to people, and that's a huge gift. So if you do want to find a group, if you do want to connect with other people, you have the skills to do that, where other people don't always have that.
We're
You know-
learning so much. No, go ahead, Stace.
Just to kind of add a little bit onto that, but also what Jackie was saying is that we have people right now with the NAR ruling all in our face about our commission and how is it you make that kind of money. And we need to be in a position of being strong within ourselves to be able to tell them we are worthy of that money because here's what I do for you. And now is the time that we have to connect with that. And if we don't connect with that, you're going to lose. You've got to be able to set yourself into that mindset. And if you don't have that mindset that you are worthy, you're not going to make it this turnaround.
That's a great point, that you have to be confident enough, and now you've got to be able to articulate your worthiness. You've got to be able to show up and be able to say, hey, these are my skill sets. It's okay to brag a little on this, and you have to set your boundaries. We talked about just yesterday or within these rooms about it's okay to fire a client. It's okay to
It's
walk,
necessary too.
right, it's okay to walk away from a listing. You don't want to be that agent who's so desperate that you're going to take on toxic clients, because that right there will kill you.
And that's when you want to get out of the industry from experience.
Well, and I think Stacy brought up such an important thing. So many real estate agents view other real estate agents as competition. You have no competition. If you're looking at Keller Williams and you think that they're a competition, you're in the wrong mindset. There is plenty to go around for everybody. There is an endless supply of homes. There will always be more homes. There will always be money. And if you're viewing it that way, then they're gonna have to view you as the other way. And I know every single person in this room has had a deal where the other person on the other side of the transaction has been a huge pain because they have that mindset and they have things like that. You gotta be in this together, especially when things like that happen with NAR and things like that. It's all of us together, it's everybody together facing a problem, not facing each other and fighting with each other. There is plenty to go around.
And this is when you really have to step up your game, because you've got to be the example. Get the education, go to the classes, learn about this, have your facts together. Talk about what is really going on. Don't buy in. We talked about watching TV or news or this or anything else. Your mindset, you've got to be able to put a block, protect yourself from not letting all that other stuff get in. And if you are not on your highest game of feeling, I am worthy of being in this business, I am worthy of showing my talent and my worth and my experience, you're gonna lose. And there's not anyone on this call that I want to see leave this industry.
Yeah.
We are so powerful together. And again, I go back to, you can call anybody, you can ask questions. There's so many resources within our community and the EXP community. We want to be the leaders, and we don't want to be the people that are, yeah, there's going to be some companies out there where their agents are not getting the support and they're not talking about this. Well, this is your time to step up your game and help them. Because givers gain, and we're pouring in and giving all the time. So don't discount another agent, they may not have what you guys have here, right? We need to step up and help people too. Everyone's confused about this. Thought you were confused before about real estate. We're all learning together and we wanna share.
And what an amazing time to be in this field.
I.
What a, you know, I think people were saying that they're expecting 480,000 real estate agents this year.
Opportunity.
What an opportunity.
Opportunity.
But there's also a lot of people that are going, wow. 480,000 are leaving, it's a sinking ship, this industry is screwed, I'm gonna leave. Great, let them leave,
Right.
let them leave, what a huge time to be here, what an opportunity. Because people are still gonna need to buy houses,
And they're gonna need agents.
they're gonna need
And they
agents.
need expertise and they need your values to really be right there. We are needed more now than any other time, I believe, in the industry. And the leaders show up as leaders.
Mhm.
And I know that every one of us here on this call in our communities want to be that person up here of excellence. They want to show their value and their worth. So if anybody on this call is still thinking, I don't know if I can do this or whatever, call us, reach out to us, right?
Yes, you can, just do it.
Just, and, oh,
That's a little bit.
That's what he said, just do it.
just do it, just do it, just do it. There's a video and I forget something, you kill me.
Yeah, I got it, I took a screenshot of this.
Because I've already listened to it and it's absolutely amazing. You gotta watch. This is a video that you guys should watch before.
Art Williams is the name, we're gonna put it in the chat. Art Williams, and it's the Just Do It speech, it's on YouTube, it's easy to find. Gene says he watches it regularly, it's really important, and it's only like 15 minutes, something like that, it's short.
And I'm gonna tell you, you have to remember when it was recorded, because there are some things on it that are sad. Don't get your panties all on the floor. That's all I'm gonna say. What is
Might not be, it's not a woke video, it's not gonna have, you know, there's some things that are controversial on there.
Remember when it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so just get beyond that.
What's it called, Art Williams?
Just do it.
Just do it. Okay, so speaking of just do, we have 7 minutes. And then we're gonna have a fabulous breakfast here. We have French toast, yogurt, fruit, bacon, eggs, bacon. Last year, 16 pounds of bacon we went through. What, I wanna open this up to the group. Brad. Hi, Brad. Okay, what's going through? I'm gonna call him Brad because I coach Brad. What's going on, Brad? What are you thinking with all this?
Morning, everyone. I'm just I'm just happy to be here. I know that sounds. I just like it's. I appreciate the question that you asked earlier about like surrounding yourself with people that are supporting you, because that's why I'm here. So that's really cool. I just appreciate the energy and I appreciate the group. So I'm here taking notes and it's all good.
Brad, my intention and on my vision board for my retreats, you're right up there in the middle. Cause I know that you're gonna be, I'm gonna say you're gonna be here next year. Can I just put that out? How
Yeah,
do you like that?
yeah, that
Okay.
sounds great.
Mike would appreciate it, because then we wouldn't feel.
Yeah, really got. Who else wants to say so? I can't see everybody that's on there. Jump in, guys. Alright, we all figured that out. Holly. Where's Holly? Heidi. 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 Oh, come here, Heidi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, this is your second retreat.
Yeah, yeah.
This is your second retreat. Why'd you come back?
It changed my life, honestly, I can say that 100%. And I came back, I was in a different spot last year, rough spot, I came here not for business, not as personal reasons, you know, last year, and it was all personal. This time I came back for more business and personal, so I thought I was in such a better place. I was just wondering where it's gonna take me, so it's phenomenal. I can't wait for today, and I'm coming back.
Are you coming
Yes,
back? So
yeah.
what have you, share some of your takeaways so far.
my takeaways, God, there's so many. It's not just the, all the, lessons that we're learning from the awesome coaches, it's all the people here. It's all the side conversations that we have, last night, with Lily and her husband and out by the pool. So there's just so many takeaways. I don't know how to pinpoint one, because there's so many.
I'm so glad that you
You
came
know, I'm
back.
so glad you invited me.
Everyone's invited.
I know, but I'm so glad that you kept texting me, are you coming?
Are you coming?
And yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so come next year.
Okay, Ruthie, come on. Come on, Ruthie. Ruthie was in Cabo, and it was kind of like, you're coming, put this on your calendar. And Holly didn't know, we're like, you're just showing up. We didn't know what you were showing up for. Talk about what you're getting from this. Hey, you guys, can I just ask you for a second? Shh, that's okay, because we're picking up all the noise. I want them to hear what Ruthie has to say, like, just like everybody else.
So, Holly and I came kind of definitely not knowing what, we were in for. We kind of didn't have any information. It was just every day in Cabo, Peggy's like, you're coming, and I'm gonna be honest, I told my husband on day one, I'm not going. I'm not going. And day 7, she said, you're coming, and I said, yeah, I'm going. And my husband laughed and he said, I knew you were going the whole time. But we still didn't know what we were coming into, but it's been a wonderful few days of, just community and friendship and getting to know people across the country. Gene's speech yesterday was amazing. One of the key takeaways from him was, you write your goals down on a piece of paper and carry it with you. And if it, the more crumbled and tattered it is from taking it out and looking at it and showing people, the more ingrained it is in your head and the more apt you are to reach those goals. I personally have never written any goals down, but moving forward, that's gonna be something I do.
Yeah.
Kind of going to the defrag of the computer that was mentioned, yesterday's yesterday's activities that Eric led really showed how your brain is compartmentalized.
Yeah, you didn't hear this.
Oh, no, I'm not gonna talk about that, but, but the brain is very compartmentalized and your awareness is kind of like an orb. And it bounces around your brain and that's what you're aware of at the time. And if we all come across those negative people who are just negative all the time and they live in that negative box in their brain, but you have to take your awareness and really work on not going to that negative place all of the time and training your brain to go to the happy place or the, love place or whatever that place is, and you get yourself out of those funks. So I think it's really been valuable.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. And I want to just let everybody know, this is not just for EXP agents.
No, we almost brought a couple of people because we had somebody back
There's
out.
people on this call right now, Brian, who I've known for years, who's with a different company. Mike and Lily are with a different company, James with a different company. We have people that are, this is a non-denominational.
Hey, Brian was a realtor.
I honestly said, I didn't know you guys were with a different company and I didn't know you were with a different company.
It doesn't
Because we're not all talking
Because
about.
we're not talking about the company.
Right? I have no idea.
So if
We
you,
talked in generalities about real estate.
Well, we're
and-
all on the same team,
Yeah.
absolutely, not as a realtor
Yes.
team, right?
Yes.
We're all on the
All
same team, working for the same, yeah.
so what I'm saying that is because if you wanna come to the next event, which I know is gonna be sold out, we're gonna start a sign up sheet like today. If you wanna come to the next event and you wanna bring friends, this is not a recruiting event. This is not an attraction event, but it is an event to bring other people. If you wanna bring a family member with you that isn't even in the industry, come, be a part. This is our community of sharing. So it's 8:59. I'm so tired of smelling the bacon. I love you guys. We're gonna go. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Hope you got a lot of fun. We'll have the recording. Bye.
Love to get it out. You did.
I know.
It's not my thing. You did it. You did it.